Okay, we are close here. I'll just do a little bit of housekeeping at the start. For those of you who weren't here for our last roundtable, our guest today is Eric, and he is the author of best-selling book about membership sales. He's been an MMA fighter. He's owned martial arts studios, and he's a professional sales coach. So a really good person to bring in for our audience here. So we've got a couple in the chat there, Eric. Lance.
I'm not seeing any of the objections. You guys got any objections? I can answer these questions too. We'll get to these.
Yeah.
What's happening inside your studios right now? What are the reasons why a prospect isn't signing up? What are they telling you? What are you hearing? What's one that trips you up?
So Eric, this would be someone who comes in, talks to you, and then they kind of pass on the offer. Is that kind of the scenario?
Yeah. If they do not say yes and give you money, they said no.
Right.
Period. I don't want to hear maybes, because maybe's a no. It's a no until it's a yes. So it's, even if it's a maybe, why did they say maybe? That's what we're looking for here.
There's one for you. They don't know if they can catch up in the long run.
I'm not sure what catching up means. Maybe they are going to the gym and they're so far behind in terms of their physical, how bad they are, their fitness, and they feel like they can't catch up. Is that what you mean? That happens a lot, where people are coming to your facility and they're thinking, I'm so out of shape, I'm so not good. They feel most people, yeah, exactly. This is a common one. Here's one. Before we deal with it directly, I want to say something about this, and we touched on it a little bit last time we did our roundtable. Every single person that comes and trains with you to try it out, to look at it, you have to assume they are intimidated and scared. I don't know if you've ever tried welding before. Anybody ever tried welding? Like actual welding. Okay, I have a 1931 Ford truck. It's a project thing for me, and I had to learn how to weld to do what I'm trying to do with this thing. It's crazy. What don't ask, but I took this welding course, and one thing they tell you in the welding course is when you approach metal, always assume it's hot, because the first time you assume it's not, it's going to burn you right. You're done, because you can't tell from looking. When you're dealing with a prospect, always assume they're intimidated. Always. They haven't trained with you. They've never been there. There's some kind of fear that they have. And it also goes for your members, the people who are training there already. They see members and they think, man, that's a long way to go. I'm so out of shape, or my kid's so misbehaved, or they're so uncoordinated. They start judging this. Okay? And so what happens is they say, oh, I'll wait till I get in shape. I don't think I can ever catch up, like what we're talking about here in the chat. And what we want to do on the front end of this, to nip this so that we're not getting it when it's time to buy a membership, is we want to reassure them that those people are their people. Meaning, let's say they want to lose 30, 40 pounds or 40 pounds. And they come to your place and they see, oh my gosh, look at everybody's in shape. That's scary. They're not in shape. We want to make sure that they understand when they're coming through that these are people just like them. They were all overweight. And there's still some in there working on it. Right? So you've got to relate it to them like your members are part of their community. Not that they're separate from the community, but they're part of it. And those members who have already achieved what they're looking to do are going to be part of helping them achieve what they want to do themselves. Whether it be inspiration in seeing them, actually helping them in the facility, whether it's a gym or studio, and those are conversations we want to do from the beginning all the way through. The very first time we talk to them on the phone, we're not talking about how great we are. We're talking about how to make them comfortable and to reassure them that when they show up, yes, they're going to see people who are ahead of them. But this community, they're going to fit right in because everybody started where they started, or 90% started where they started, whatever your numbers are. You don't want to make it up. You want to be truthful about it. But if the majority of people come to you started out of shape, overweight, and where they are, you let them know that. And it helps reassure them that they're in the right place, even if they're looking around and it might not be. Okay? And that'll help before you even have it. One important thing about handling sales obstacles, and by the way, if you don't have the book, we will get this to you. You can go buy it too. It's wild because we give it out free, and it's been a bestseller for 10 years. This is a book I wrote called The Art of Selling Memberships. There's actually a section in here where you can get how to handle objections. There's some specific things in here. But why did I bring this up? What was I going to do with this, Chris? I don't even know why I brought this up. I lost track when I started thinking we give it out and it still sells well. But we will give you a copy of that. What the heck? Where was I going with the book? Oh, my gosh. Lost my train.
You're on the path of objections and community.
I cannot remember why I brought the book up. But anyway, there you go. A little plug for the book. We're going to give you a free copy. Oh, because in the book,
yeah.
part of the deal is this. You want to handle objections before they come up. When you do that, you hardly ever get them. In that conversation, in those objections you're handling are on the front end. I'll give you an example real quick. There's 4 objections we know we're going to get. One is going to be schedule. Tell me if you heard this. Give me a thumbs up. You were laughing at me about losing my train of thought. Listen, he said I compete for real. I do. I got kicked in the head all the time. Let's go. You're lucky I can keep anything straight over here. But time and schedule is one, right? We hear it all the time. Oh, I got to check my schedule. If you wait and you're showing them a price and you hear I got to check my schedule, you're all out of whack now. You understand? You don't know if it's the schedule, if it's the price, or what's going on. But price is one you got to deal with. You want to deal with it on the front end. Or schedule, sorry. The same thing goes for your location. Okay? You want to deal with that on the front end. When you're talking to them and you're having a conversation with them, hey, we're located at so-and-so, or obviously they're in your building. Here we are. Let me ask you, is our location convenient for you? Can you get here okay? This is before they see membership prices. This is before they even get in the program. Now, if they say to you, yeah, this is perfect. It's right off of work. It's whatever they say, pen and paper. I know it's old school. You write it down. People will not go back on what they say when you're writing it down and they know you're keeping track of it and keeping track of their notes, or you're keeping notes on it. They said it's convenient. Now, guess what's going to happen when price comes up? You're not going to have location be an issue. Oh, I don't know if I can get here. I got to check the bus schedule. I got to talk to my wife about ride and whatever. It's gone. It's already eliminated because they just told you earlier that the location's perfect. And we do the same thing with time, schedule. How do we do it? They come in, they sit down, we chat with them, we say, listen, typically, when I put a program together, or whatever it might be, let's say there's 2 classes a week, or 3 classes a week, or however it is, but you explain that when you do a program, there's a certain amount of time that you've got to put into it as a member, right? So let's talk about your schedule. Are you able to get here 2 to 3 times a week at these times? You're giving them an approximate, but you need to get a yes from them. You get a yes now. If they say, well, I got to check my schedule, bing, let's go check it. How am I going to put a program together for you, Miss Prospect, if I don't know if you have the time to do it? Schedule's gone. They will give you times. They will tell you schedule. And now when you show them price, they're not going to go, oh, I got to check my schedule because I got right here that they can do 2 to 3 times a week. So we're eliminating these in the front before they're coming up. Okay. And those are two that catch us like out of left field, because how do you deal with it? You show them a price and they go, oh, let me check my schedule and I'll get back to you. What? Where is there a schedule on the price? I don't see it.
Eric, there's one from Doug in the chat there, right at the bottom.
Yeah. I got you. They're just lazy. Welcome to the business, Doug. How'd they get where they're at? They were lazy, right? This is what happens to us. We get off track and we do stuff. But I got 2 more that I want you to understand before I deal with these directly. Okay? So we did schedule and location. Those are 2 big ones. Now they're never going to catch you off guard because you got it on the front end. Okay? The third one has to do with commitment. This is important. Okay? And this is where laziness, personal issues, everything can go away. Because when it comes to commitment and motivation, everybody has it. Everybody. I've heard this, I taught martial arts, and one of our big things were kids programs. And I heard all the time, oh, my kids aren't motivated. I put an Xbox up for a gift. Watch how motivated these kids are. Like you wouldn't believe. It's a matter of just understanding the motivation. The same thing goes with our prospect. If we understand the motivation, laziness isn't an issue. Money isn't an issue. There is actually no issue when it comes to that. They will find a way to do it. Another quick story. When I was a kid, my mom and whoever she happened to be married to and dating at the time, they smoked cigarettes all the time. I don't know what, it's like a community where they all connected with each other. I don't know. But it was constant smoking all the time. And cigarettes are expensive and we were poor. But somehow these two could afford $20 a day in cigarettes. It was amazing to me. Like they had the motivation to find the money to support their habit. They were motivated. They were addicted. Okay? Now, that's a little bit of an extreme example. The point, though, is the same. If you understand the motivation and they do have the motivation, the excuses go out the window. They find a way to make it work. So when it comes to commitment and motivation, I put them in both. What's important to ask is not just what they're there for. So let's use weight as an example. They're there to lose 40 pounds, right? Maybe they're coming to dance because they want to see their kid rise. They want to see their kid perform at a higher level. Okay, we have this with hitting instruction, same thing. They bring their kids in because they want their kids to hit the ball and get on base, right? It's the same idea. Okay, but why? That's the key. I call this the greatest question in the universe. It's in my book. It's why. My kids, I don't know where they learned it from because I never taught it to them when they were little. But that's all they would do. Can I have a candy bar? No. Why? Now I got to explain why it's a no. I can't just leave it at the surface. You know how kids are too. They just keep going with it, right? This is how you uncover their motivations and get to their commitment level. So the 40 pounds, there's 2 things they want about this or any of these goals, whatever their goal is. And it's important. You're going to want to write this down. You want to understand the goal in terms of what they're going to get out of it. So when I lose this weight, when I become this level 2 dance certification, I don't know if you guys do certifications or ranks over there, but when I get to the competition team, okay, it's going to do X, Y, Z. It's going to make me feel good. It's going to make me feel like a better parent. And remember, we're talking to parents. They want their kid to be successful, but they also want to look like a good parent, always. And they're bringing them to you because of that. That's their motivation, their positive motivation. I want my kid to be a success. You have to understand that. And then you also have to understand the flip side of it. There's a negative motivator. The negative motivator is almost always the biggest one. It's the reason why they're unhappy, unsatisfied, frustrated, whatever it might be. So right now you're 40 pounds overweight. Who cares? Why is that such a big deal? That's like 2/3 of our population. Why you want to be so different? Why does it bother you? Okay? You ask a parent, why does it bother you that your son or daughter never ranks in any of the dance competitions? Why does that bother you? You want to talk about getting the motivation to it? You want to talk about taking the laziness and all of that out of it? You'll have parents and you'll have prospects that will literally shed tears over this because it's that important to them. 40 pounds means nothing. Their kid getting better at dance means nothing. Their kid being able to defend themselves against the bully is nothing. Or learn martial arts is nothing. Being able to defend against a bully, that's something. Being able to place in a competition or perform some type of dance technique, that's something. Losing 40 pounds and being able to take your shirt off when you go to the beach now because you have the confidence, that's something. But it's not 40 pounds. Everybody getting what I'm saying here? What we call picking up what I'm putting down? You guys getting it? Give me the thumbs up. Okay? Very important we understand these two things. If you understand them, they are going to do whatever it takes to make it happen because you understand. It's going to take you so much farther down the road. You're listening to what they want. And now when you present a membership, what's the sales obstacle? You listen to them. Here's a membership that's not only going to be able to, you'll be able to take your shirt off during the summer, but you'll stop feeling like XYZ, the negative part, because we've also got to understand that. Okay, so the negative part is, why does it bother you now? Why does it bother you that your kid is undisciplined or doesn't or lacks focus? Because it sure as heck doesn't bother the kid that much. Believe me, my kid's like that too. I got an 8-year-old. He's just starting that undisciplined era in his life. Okay? Everybody understand that? Last one, I'm gonna get to these questions on here. The third one or the fourth one that we get all the time is I gotta talk to somebody else. It's called the significant other obstacle, right? I gotta talk to my wife. I gotta talk to grandma. I gotta talk to the turtle. There was a commercial out for a car sales thing, and the guy's like, I got to talk to my turtle. And I'm like, I've actually heard that for real. I got to talk to some weird thing. I got to sleep on it. It's all delay. It's the same thing, okay? But they got to talk to somebody. The reality is they don't. That's the reality. But they're nervous about making a commitment because now it's time to do the work. Now it's time to make it happen. That's why we ask about it on the front end. And how we ask about it is, point blank, is there anybody who is not supportive of you accomplishing this goal? And I ask it in a negative way. Because one, I want to know truly if there are people who she's or he's or they are going up against in order to accomplish this goal. And I'm going to tell you why this is important. And then they're going to say, no, everybody's pretty supportive, da-da-da, that's cool. Okay, who's your biggest supporter? It's my husband. There you go. So you go home tonight and you tell your husband that you decided to do something about this issue, whatever it might be. He's going to be totally excited for you. He's going to be behind you 100%. And I mean, he's going to get out the old, like, high school cheerleading uniform, but the pom-poms and do the kicks for you. I'm talking that kind of excited. And believe me, I say it every time. It's old now for my students because they hear it all the time. But I say that every dang time because it makes them laugh and they think about their husband in these pom-poms or whatever. But they say, oh, yes, 100%. Now you think at the end they're going to go, well, let me talk to my husband. Yeah, I know you're going to talk to your husband. He's going to be stoked. You just told me that earlier, right? So again, you're setting this up on the front end of it, but you're asking it in a starting out with who is not supportive. Because here's what will happen. Oh, my husband isn't supportive. Oh, how are you going to deal with that? Look, I got to go talk to my husband afterwards. Okay, you see, it can get you in a whole snag here. So let's go with the husband not being supportive. Well, that's kind of lame, but let's do it. Oh, yeah, you know, my husband doesn't know I'm here. It's like he's not a big fan of me getting in shape. But you're here anyway. So what that tells me is that this goal is important to you regardless of what anyone thinks, including your own husband, right? That's how important this is to you? Yes. So if you decide this is something that you want to continue on with and that we're the right fit for you, then this is 100% your decision here. Yes, it is. We get the confirmation. I'm not going to hear I got to talk to my husband later or significant other. Put whatever thing you want to put in there. Okay, those are the four. You want to deal with them up front. Have a conversation with your prospect. Ask them about their time, schedule, location, their commitment, why they are trying to achieve these goals, and why does it bother them right now that they haven't. Okay, and then who's supportive and who's not? Who's going to help them on this? And when you have all of those things, you get less price objections. You don't get any of the four that we talked about, and you get a lot more yeses that are easy because all you're doing is saying, look, we chatted. This is what you told me. Here's how it works in our membership. All those things that they told you, you now relate to your membership, and there's the price, and it's a done deal. Okay, it becomes very, very easy and smooth. It's just a natural thing, and it doesn't feel like selling because it's asking questions, and they're telling you the information, and then you're providing a membership that matches with the information that they gave you, from their schedule to their motivation and everything in between. Okay? That's a big picture of stuff. 10 years of my life work I just gave you in about 20 minutes. So I hope you could take all that in. We're going to answer some of these questions. And pop some more in there if you got. So what do we have, Chris?
Well, first, Eric, do you want to just do a quick recap of the four, just succinctly, the 1, 2, 3, 4?
Yes. The four sales obstacles you're always going to have. Even if they don't bring them up, they're in your prospect's mind. The first is location. Can I get here? Is this convenient for me? I live in Watertown, New York. It gets negative 31 sometimes. My gym here, we always ask. Let's say it's negative 31. Are you going to come in? Yeah, I'll be there. Location works. I'm not going to have it as a sales obstacle. Second one is time and schedule. Third one is motivation and commitment. It's the why behind their goal. Understand that. It's the why behind their goal. Both the positive, what they want out of it in the future, what they're going to gain from it, and the negative, why they're unhappy or unsatisfied. You'll have people come in and say, oh, I'm happy with myself, da-da-da, but they're not satisfied. Watch, it happens if you haven't heard it already. And then the fourth one is significant other. And what I just mentioned to you is the order in how you want to address them. The reason being is location, very easy for your prospect to answer. You want easy stuff first because by the time you get to commitment, it's getting a little heavier. It's getting a little deeper. So we get easy ones first. Location, very easy. Schedule, maybe they got to look at their schedule, maybe not, but it's still an easy one to figure out. Third, now we're getting into it a little bit. Your goal, the why behind it. And the reason why significant other is at the end is because now you've made an emotional connection really with the prospect over their commitment and over their goal. And so now when you talk about significant other, they tend to want to not have that be an obstacle. They want to say they're supportive. They want to say, even if they're not, I'm going to do it anyway, because you're talking about something that's very emotional with them. Okay, so those are the four. And Chris asked me to do this very succinctly, and he knows me close enough now that is very hard for me to do. Let me do it real quick. Number one is location. 2 is time. 3 is motivation, commitment, and 4 is significant other.
Perfect. Okay, so the first question is from Lance, and I think Lance's question's maybe a bit broader than the scope we're talking about today, but he says, I want certain aspects of my offerings to be marketed better, i.e. summer camps in the spring, advertising, transportation after school program, kids program, etc. Different times of the year, I need certain programs marketed specifically. So I don't know if we want to tackle that now, or maybe that's a good topic of a future session. Or
great topic for a future one. And I will say something really quick on that. And I've marketed many businesses. You can check me out. You can follow me. I just launched a coffee shop that's going absolutely insane. It's marketing. It's the same kind of a thing. Activity is everything when it comes to marketing. I mean, community activity, being out and being involved in things so that people will be involved in your things. We can get into this more, but activity, being active. I'm talking about I would pull up to a Walmart and do stuff. Set up a tent, but being out in the community, being part of different events that they have going on, whether it's block parties and all these different things. You want to be very, very active around those things. If it's school related and you're talking about after school kind of stuff, how can you get active? And I'm not talking about just put yourself in front of people like your program. I'm talking about how can you help? Can you help PTAs? Can you get together with schools? I used to be in all of the high schools. I would teach gym classes for the gym teachers, and that was another way that we got out there. So you just want to be very, very active. Don't rely on Facebook. Don't rely on that kind of stuff, social media. Be active out in your community. I'm telling you, nothing can beat that. All your competitors, listen to me very, very clear. I'm old school. I will outwork anybody, but they're not doing it. Your competitors are lazy. You have an opportunity to go out there and capture that business that's out there. You just have to be in front and you have to be active about it. Okay?
Yeah, that's a good point, Eric. And I'm just going to give an example. So at Member Solutions, I'm kind of new to the Member Solutions team. And that's one of my beliefs too. So we've been sponsoring events and going to local tournaments. So not big conferences, not big trade shows. These are events put on by a martial arts studio, and maybe there's 5 studios that come in and they get together. We just did one in Texas. And at that event, I sent one of our employees, just one of our support people that was close by. They went by and talked to everyone there just to kind of get a feel for what happens at the events and how we could participate in the community. And he had some really good interviews with folks. One person he talked to is Troy Dorsey, and he's actually a pretty impressive fella. He's like he's the only person to have ever held kickboxing and boxing world championships at the same time. He had a chat with us, and I just got off the phone with him because he reached out and he wanted to help us out. And at that same event, you mentioned social media. If you're involved and you're doing these things, you might as well capture it, and then you have great social media content that's real. That actually, it's not some AI generated thing. It's real people. Someone could look that tournament up and find it. So that community involvement, we're seeing a great benefit from it.
Yeah, and I definitely don't want you to hear what I didn't say. I didn't say don't do social media. I'm saying don't rely on it. You want to do social media, but like Chris is saying, you're doing events and you're going to have content for days, and people love seeing themselves. They love seeing things going on, and they love sharing that kind of a thing. And that's where your content will take off. You do an instructional video, depending on your following, they don't do well in the general public. When the general public sees action and activity going on, that's what fuels that social media.
Okay, the next one's from Doug. It was in 2 parts. He started off, you saw the first part where he mentioned, people just lazy, but then he kind of tied it up with saying, How about for the rich, lazy folks? I create an in-home training program for them if they keep finding it difficult to come to me. The idea is to just not to lose an influential customer.
That comes down to their commitment and motivation. You have to really understand why they want to make a change. And then you have to bring that up to them and get that dialed in so that they get that coming to you is going to solve that challenge for them, and not coming to you is going to continue to be painful for them. They are paying you to avoid whatever pain that they got going on right now. And one thing is, you start to deal with affluent people, their pain goes up and down all the time, because one minute they're oh, I hate how I look. Next minute they got money and they're doing something. I don't know, but it goes up and down, right? Here's the deal, and this was everybody. One minute they're not happy with themselves. They go on, they put a picture on Instagram, they get 10 likes or whatever. Now they're feeling good about themselves, and the motivation to work out went way down. But the underlying piece of it never changes until they do something about it. So it's the same thing. They have a reason why they want to accomplish this goal, whether it's going to help them get ahead in their career or how they look. Okay? That's what we got to understand. And what is going to happen if they don't change? What's going to happen? Some people might die. And I'm not joking. Are we talking about that? They're so out of shape and so bad. You know, you might die. They're thinking it. Okay? But that's what we have to understand. Those two things. And when you get them, they're going to be motivated. More motivated, I should say. Obviously, 100% would be a wild number to hit on every single person. But when you understand that, the motivation is there. And think about yourself too.
That might be a good opportunity, Eric, to share that story about your first non-close, you know, the one related to you're going to die.
Yeah, that's when I realized I actually had to get good at sales, because I had somebody come in. So my adopted father, which Troy Dorsey, by the way, knows my father. My father's like kind of a legend in martial arts, and Troy and him go back a long way. So I know Troy Dorsey as well. We'll talk about that afterwards. Anyway, what was I telling you? Okay, so my adopted father, you got to understand something. He didn't like have me on accident. He literally said, I'm going to help this kid. You know what I mean? So now I'm selling memberships at his gym. So imagine I can't do it, and I'm terrible at it. This is the guy who picked me, and I can't even help him out with the gym memberships. Lady comes in and is literally telling me she went to the doctor, and that if she didn't do something about her health, that she was going to die. Like, not right away, but before, you know, her time. And I thought, man, this gig's going to be the easiest gig I've ever signed up for in my life. I mean, here I got people saying they're going to die. Who's not going to sign up for a membership now? Right? Go through the whole thing. At the end, she got to talk to somebody. Got to talk to her boyfriend. I was like, about dying? Like, you just told me your doctor said you're going to die. Like, what the heck are you talking about? You know, I had no idea how to deal with it.
She got you on number 4.
What's that?
She got you on number 4.
Yeah, she got me. And it occurred to me, again, I'm thinking about my dad's business right here, and I'm just going, man, he needs my help on this thing, and I can't even sign up someone who's dying. Holy cow. So I dove all in. I got in. I went to workshops. I went to Zig Ziglar seminars. I went to Anthony Robbins seminars. I really learned sales. I studied. I read all kinds of crazy books. And there was really nothing for our business, nothing that I liked. That was a very non-confrontational, no pressure, no hardball kind of selling. Now, listen, I'm all for hardball. I'm the guy like that. I love that style. But I also had to hire employees who aren't that way. And when you have a system, it has to work across the board. It can't be personality driven. It has to be system driven. It has to be something with steps. And that's where the steps for this came about. And the irony of this book is I sat on this thing for 10 years. 10 years I thought about writing this because I was training my staff. It was working well, so they were selling. And I failed English twice in high school, ladies and gentlemen. And I said, you know what? I'm not an author. I'm going to write a book and everybody's going to think I'm a joke because of how I talk. And my wife's like, well, if nobody buys it, then who cares? I'm like, oh, you know what? She kind of got a point there. I put the book out. Thing went #1 in all kinds of categories. I'm not talking about some weird off strange lands. I'm talking about the U.S., Australia, Germany, Canada, India. It was crazy, but it resonated, and it still resonates to this day. If you go on Amazon and look, it's still a bestseller to this day. I'm not trying to brag about it. What I'm trying to do is let you know that the process, the fundamental process, is about understanding the people in front of you. Do you want to help them? That's a real question. Do you want to help the people in front of you? Because if you do, you have to understand how to get them through their obstacles. This will help you do it. The training that we're doing here with Member Solutions will help you do that. But you have to understand them. And when you understand them, you can deliver and you can present a membership where now they go, yes, that's for me. I have to do it. Yeah. And when you show them the final price, they go, oh, thank God it wasn't $1 million. Everybody always says, I expected it to be more when you start following this kind of process, because now your process has value in it, not just your training.
Lance, I noticed you unmuted. Did you have something you wanted to say?
I unmuted?
You did.
Yeah, there you are, man.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, no, I'm typing a question and maybe I hit something. I have no idea.
Okay,
well, now
that's right.
Type it. Let's go.
Type
What
away.
we got?
All right. Well, while we're waiting for Lance to type, or if you want to say it, Lance, go ahead.
What you got?
Oh yeah. Well, basically, we get a lot of leads from the 97 display every month, and I call them within seconds, and when they answer, oh my God, I can't believe you I just pushed the button. So anyway, so I speak to them obviously, and I explain, I ask them which program they're interested in, because sometimes it's not on the page that it comes in. It's a general inquiry. So, and then I follow up with an email. If I leave them a voicemail, I follow up with an email. If I speak to them, I tell them I'm going to follow up with an email, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I guess my main thing is to, is that enough? Because obviously, once they come in, they join. I mean, I look at it, it's not a sale if they contact me. It's just saying my door's open. Here's what you're looking for. Come on in. Here's what we offer. You like it? Great, join. Most people do. I mean, it's a great thing. But I'm just wondering is if I'm getting, 40 to 60 of these every month and 20 are coming in, is it something I'm doing not right to get the other 40 or 50 to actually come in the front door? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
question is a great question to always be asking Lance and everybody else on it. It's a great question to ask. I'm still on here. Don't worry about my camera freezing. It'll come back. But you want to ask yourself, could I get 2 more appointments to show up this week? Because if I do, that's almost 10 sales extra this month. No, that's 8 4 weeks, right? Mm-hmm. Every single month, that's an additional 30-something members at the end of the month or end of the year. If I could do just that much better, okay? We talked a little bit about how to reassure people, and this is everything on the phone, Lance. Reassurance. It's about making them feel comfortable about coming in. You can always improve that number. If you're getting 40 to 50 leads and 20 or 30 appointments, that means 20 people aren't showing up or so for whatever reason. They said they wanted to come in and they didn't. Or you talk to them on the phone and they didn't book an appointment. Right? Sorry, I talked over you. What'd you say?
Oh, I coughed actually, but actually I do have a question in there.
Yeah.
Now I'm not scheduling them appointments. What I do is I have, like, say if it's for a kids program, I say we accept new students Monday and Wednesday for the 3:30 class. Come in at 3:15, do the 1 week trial. It includes a uniform, throw them into class. We can find them a buddy.
Perfect.
I'm just wondering, I mean, because, and I don't say you have, call before you come. It's ongoing, start when you can start. So that's how I do it on the phone.
Yes.
I'm wondering, that is okay, and not to
Yeah,
set
it's good.
for a
Get
need.
a little bit more of a commitment from them, Lance.
Mhm.
Let them know, hey, every Monday and Wednesday, we have a great group that we do where we start the kids. Now, those are very popular days, and I want to make sure I got enough room and we're able to really ensure that you're getting the right attention that you need when you come in. So my question is, what day is best for you, Monday or Wednesday? Or I don't know, maybe you have them do both. But what I want to do here is I want to let them know, hey, this is what we do. This is a very popular thing. It's limited to only 2 days a week so that we can really ensure we're getting our beginners off to a good start and they feel good about it, right? It's new to them. And there's only so many spots. I just need to know which day works best for you, Monday or Wednesday. They're going to say, Wednesday's my day. Okay, great. I'll put you down for Wednesday, give them the whole deal. And now you have two things that are going on. One, you have an expectation that they're going to be there, and you also have an ability to follow up if they're not.
Mm.
That is one of the keys, because you're going to get people who aren't, and you're going to want to have a follow-up with them. You will get a lot of people who just, something happened, slipped their mind, and a reminder is all they need. Not all of them, but a reminder is what they need.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So when you're doing it, you're not saying, do you want to come in? Would you like to schedule a time? You're saying, I do these on Mondays and Wednesdays. Which day do you want?
Right.
They're not saying yes or no to that. They're saying Monday.
Right. Give them a choice. Give them a choice, not a yes or no answer.
Correct.
Yep.
It's called the Wheeler Witch Close. If you really want to get crazy, Elmer Wheeler back in the 20s invented this. Selling eggs for Walgreens. Don't ask me about what I know about sales. I'm telling you, I'm nerdy with this. Okay, but it's the same idea. You don't give them a yes or a no. And I love how you're doing that. We do the same things where we would have you come in for the whole week. Okay, train. But we want to offer them a membership the first day that they're there. Not where we're going to, put them in a corner and try to hard sell them, but where we're going to, did you like the experience? Would you like to look at some options now? And then they give you permission to show them a membership. And you'll close them like that too. But that'll help, Lance, because when they make the commitment and they know that you're expecting it, it'll go up. When you're reassuring them that all of the people that are there are the same kind of people, same kind of kids, same kind of parents, right? You're dealing with kids. Parents want to, they feel bad about having a kid who doesn't focus and isn't disciplined. They take that on as they're a bad parent. Okay, when you get somebody, listen, that's all I got is bad parents over here. What do you think their kids are here for? They start laughing. But the deal is this: they're doing the right thing by bringing their child to you, and they need to continue to do the right thing. So pick a day. What is it, Monday or Wednesday? We'll get you started. You'll be with a great group of people. You'll get started the right way. Your kid will love it, and more importantly, so will you as a parent. And you'll know that this was the best decision you ever made for your kid.
Yep.
And then when they get there, you're going to do your thing. And they're going to say yes, right? So it's just a matter of closing that gap. But it's a good question, because Lance is asking, where are my gaps at? How could I improve these? If I have 50 leads and I get 20 to show up or 30 to show up, that could look like a great number to some of us. We've had leads and clients doing 80% show up rates. I'm not saying you're going to get those kind of rates. And I always hate when people put numbers out like that, because it can be different for everybody. But I put it out there because you should always be looking to do better with those things. How can I improve my conversations? How can I improve my prospects' comfort with me? Okay. Chris mentioned Troy Dorsey early on the call. He's a phenomenal athlete, fighter back in his day, still is actually. But nobody cares who's looking to lose weight that he won titles in 2 different sports. They don't care. As a fighter, I do. But if I'm trying to lose weight, I'm like, hey, man, I ain't going that guy. He'd knock me out if I don't do it right. I'm scared of that dude. That's why if you're the Troy Dorseys of the world and we all have our own unique thing that we are great at, you want to be reassuring, not intimidating. And it's a fine line. And you will see if you're reassuring your prospects, they will show up more. You'll have more of them. They will talk more. And they will talk about your experience being great from start to finish. Focus on them. Once they become members, now they care about your accolades. Now they care about the things you've done, because when they go tell their friends, oh, I trained with a guy who's XYZ, or I'm at the dance studio, they won this competition and that competition. That's once they're members. Before that, they're scared. You got to reassure them. They use your accomplishments to justify their buying decisions. That's another topic we can get into on a later one. But all right, what else we got?
Yeah, thanks, Lance. And
Thank you.
Yes.
I think Lance unmuted by accident, but we're going to chalk it up to reassurance, Eric. You reassured the room. Lance chatted, right?
Look at that. It works.
Yeah.
Even in these calls, these workshops.
So the next one's from Cassandra. If you want to talk interactively like Lance did, Cassandra, feel free to unmute and just start talking, but I'll read your question. So she starts off, this is slightly unrelated, but as a female gym instructor, most people prefer male over female instructors, which is cool because everyone has the right to choose whoever they want. But how do you think I can make myself more of an option for people?
It depends on how the options are presented, right? Like if somebody's coming up and they're going, oh, here's your list of instructors, pick one, you're not going to stand out from a list, right? Now, let's just go back to the very beginning of the call, and I'm not sure if you're on here, Cassandra, but
She's still on here.
I mean, in the beginning when I was talking about activity. Activity beats everything. Okay? It beats everything. And my daughters have to deal with this now. The more active you are, the more people see you, the less people can ignore you. So don't wait to be on a list. Don't wait to be chosen amongst whatever. Go find your people. There are people who are comfortable and who will work with female trainers. There are people who aren't comfortable working with male trainers and vice versa. Okay? They're out there. You have to find your audience and you have to be active in doing that. Go where they are. I know it sounds like simplistic advice. The simple stuff works, and it works every time, without exception. When you're in front of people, when you're making connections, and it could be something as simple as like going to your Chamber of Commerce and becoming a member and going to their business after hours events. I'm just using a random thing. What's that got to do with personal training? Everything. 2/3 of our population is fat, lazy, and out of shape. We all know this. So it doesn't matter what event you go to. You got your prospects are left, right, back in front of you. You know what I mean? You got to be out there. Now you're doing this little network thing. Hey, here's what I do. What makes you different? What makes you stand out and lean into it? Don't be afraid to be that person. You have a unique talent, a gift, something that stands out from everybody else. I started a coffee shop with a blue goat. Everybody was freaking out over this. Like, this is crazy. What's this got to do with coffee? There's nothing like this on the planet. It's a scary idea when you're me and they haven't launched it. Now we launched it. It's absolute insanity. Everybody loves it. It's different. It's unique. we talk directly to our audience. It's the same kind of thing here. You are a brand. Be in front of people. Bridal shows, go to them. They all want to fit into dresses. Actually, I don't think they're called bridal shows anymore. I think they're called wedding shows or something. I forget. There's some name you got to be careful with here in the US. But same thing. Get in front of your audience. Don't, if you work at a gym or you work at a studio here, ladies and gentlemen, don't expect them to give you leads. I've worked at these big box gyms, but way back in the day as a sales guy, and the leads sucked. I used to go get my own. I'd go hand out cards. I did door hangers. I've done door hangers. Don't do anything, by the way. I'm not saying that's the thing you should do. I'm just saying be active in your community. Okay. When you're active, you cannot be denied. I'm telling you, I'm 50 years old. I have 30 years of business experience. If there's one advice I'm going to give you, activity cannot be denied, period. So be active, be in front of people, get involved in your community, help people out, and you'll see it'll come back. I hope that helped.
Well, compliments from Ben.
Oh, Ben's hooking me up with a compliment. All right. That's the guy that ran for president. So this is a big compliment. You know what I mean? Appreciate that. I think I'm stuck at 12 years old. At least that's what my wife told me. So.
All right. We're at 11:52. We've got 8 minutes.
All right. We
left.
got Cassandra motivated. And I hope I got her name right because, you know, it could be Cassandra or Cassandra. Cassandra. I think it's Cassandra, though. Give me a thumbs up if I got it right. Is it Cassandra? Yeah. Oh, that was Gabe. Gabe hit me with it. Come on, man. You tricking me over here. Oh, good. I'm glad you're motivated. Just keep that in mind. Activity beats it all. And your competitors are lazy. I know because they call me and they want advice and they want help. And they don't want to do the work. I hear it all the time. And that's your opportunity. Be out there and be active. You'll see. And you'll get respect from your community. That's the other thing. You'll start to be a respected person. And it's like, you're going to train with who? You need to talk to Cassandra over here. What the heck's wrong with you? It's like that kind of a thing. All right, what else we got? Chris, am I missing?
No, I think we got all the questions there. So we can open it up here quick. If anyone has a rapid fire they want to throw out there, we've got 6 minutes left. We have to do a bit of a draw, but other than that,
nobody's got any real hard sales obstacles they've ever ran into that you want to try to hit me with, stump me with? No biggie if not.
Hey,
a lot of times they're showing up and you guys are probably doing well in closing them. You know, but keep in mind what we talked about. I'm sorry, go ahead, Lance.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is a part of your thing or not. Like I said, this is my first one of these I've done with you guys. I've been with 97 Display for about 3 or 4 years, I think. But
awesome.
Maybe 6. I don't even know. It's been a long time. But
it's good when you lose track of the time, right? That means it's a good relationship.
Well, I'm kind of old. I do this to keep this program going in Napa. Unfortunately, I would like to not anymore, but Napa kind of needs it. What can I tell you? Yeah, I think I'm the only one. I'm the only one left after COVID. Anyway,
there's a saying: you can't leave the game because the game needs you. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you. But a meeting with this Ari person, is that someone in your thing that deals with like social media stuff?
No,
I'm not sure if you all are.
Ari is with 97 Display. She's head of the social media at 97 Display.
Oh, and you guys are different. You guys are a separate entity.
We partner with 97 Display on this on these round tables, but we have a relationship with them because they do a lot of the marketing side of things, and Member Solutions is more of a software for membership. These roundtables are specifically just about membership related topics to help you with your membership business. So we have gyms, martial arts, dance studios, anything that has a membership, Botox.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. I'm just checking.
I got a quick question for everybody. I'm just before we do the giveaway and all that, I'm curious if anybody on this call would be interested in learning how to turn their billing into a profit center. because we could do a pretty cool workshop about that if they had an interest in it.
Maybe just quickly explain what that means.
That means right now you are running billing at your studio, and it's a cost to you. I don't know what it is. It's always a cost. I have multiple businesses, and they take a percentage based on their processing and all that. And throughout all of the years that I had my fitness centers and my membership businesses, we always took our billing and we made it a profit center where it was something that we actually earned money on. There's really only one way that I know how to do it, and that's why I'm bringing it up with Member Solutions, because I use Member Solutions for that. I was a client of Member Solutions for a long time before I sold my businesses in the fitness side of things. But it's something that a lot of people don't realize they can do, and it's something that if you're not doing right now, you're leaving money on the table. You don't have to be a Member Solutions client to do it. That's a strategy and a technique that can actually be a profit center for you that a lot of us don't realize and don't take advantage of. If that's something that you guys would have an interest in learning about and getting some step-by-step on that, let us know, because we'll put something together for you.